Captain?
He might be if you let him be vice captain. And, of course, he asks exactly the same question about us that we ask about him.
I see.
And I don't think that something like the NATO deterrent is going to fool him. We propose to give NATO atomic weapons, but we don't really propose to release control of them. And until we do, I don't think that de Gaulle will accept that as a substitute for his own deterrent.
I would suggest that the greatest problem of all in reconciling the Western alliance to General de Gaulle and vice versa is to obtain some solution of the Algerian problem, which would allow France to put her troops back in the NATO lineup, order of battle, and all that.
Exactly.
I keep wondering if there isn't something that John Kennedy can do when he gets into power in Washington that might somehow help the French resolve this agonizing crisis.
In Algeria, Senator?
Well, you remember, Joe, several years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago, Senator Kennedy made a speech attacking French policy in North Africa. There's not going to be anything like that now. I think his feeling is he wants to do nothing that would hinder or embarrass General de Gaulle in his attempts to bring some sort of settlement to Algeria. That's for the time being. If things get worse, something else may ensue.
Well, of course, the Russian and the Chinese communists do not have that view nor that objective. They're seeking very actively to take over that revolution in Algeria if they can. Of course, the Russian and Chinese communists already have a ready-made mechanism for creating crisis in Europe, the continuing situation in Berlin. John Rich, what does this condition pose for John Kennedy? What do the West Germans want from him? And what are they prepared to do to help him?
Well, certainly West Berlin is going to be Mr. Kennedy's key problem in Europe, and it's going to continue to be another point of great danger of nuclear war between East and West. It's been 2 years now since Mr. Khrushchev told us we'd have to get out of the city in 6 months. The Western garrisons are still there. The city is economically sound. There's more prosperity than ever before. Industrial production is up 15% this year over last. And I've been able to see no visible lessening of the morale of the West Berliners. The past year did, however, see some sharp moves against the city, some of the sharpest since the blockade in 1948.